Hey guys, welcome to Ghost Gaming 83. I'm your host, Ghost. It's been a while since I made some video. It's definitely been way too long. I'm sorry about that. You know, I'm back. It's been a crazy week or weeks, I should have said. Due to my busy schedule at work, I rarely have time, but I'll try to make time. But anyways, today on Evony, this episode will be for boss generals. Okay, so there are a few of you that asked me, sent me whispering games, sent me emails asking what type of boss general should I use or generals to run boss. Now let me say one thing, okay? Some information coming from me might not be accurate, okay? Your play style is different than my play style, okay? My opinion is my opinion, your opinion is your opinion. I'm just giving out, some experiences along the way that I encountered. Whether or not if you want to take it, that's up to you, okay? So, but from what I know and from what I see, if you run any kind of bosses, the number one troop to use is Mount Troop. The reason why is Mount Troop has the highest attack damages towards boss compared to any other unit, compared to ground unit, compared to range unit, compared to siege, and definitely not siege. Okay, so do consider whenever you run bosses, always use Mount Troop. Okay. By the way, a little news. I finally reached K35. How awesome that is. It took me a week and a half to get 28 billion resources. That means food, wood, stone, and ore. All four of those resources combined gives me 28 billion resource, and I was able to obtain that much of a resource within 2 weeks. How did I do it? It's a secret, but it got to do with your outs, okay? And whenever I upgrade something or build something, I make sure that I want to do it on the Warlord events. Some of you might ask me why that is. Why is that? Well, it's a consuming return event. Okay, let's say if you spent 500,000 or 125 million food, you get back all these great items. Okay, as you can see, I claim all of them. I spent 5 billion and I got back 222 of 24-hour speed up, 20 of 100 staminas, 100 of the material bag, 110 of 1 million resource, and of course soul crystal 20 pieces. Now I've spent 5,000 for each, 5 billion for each resource: food, lumber, stone, and of course ore. So I got a lot of speed up, so I was able to upgrade my wall and my keep to 35. I use all the 24-hour speed up from 1,000 days all the way down to 1 day. Unfortunately, I ran out of speed up, so it gives me 1 day, so I have to use gym to finish. So for the next 2 events, I'll be staying out of SVS, and I will upgrade all my camps, my barrack, my archer, my horse, my rally spot, and a couple more buildings. And I will do this on Warlord events where consuming return event is. So that gives me back some RSS. If I spent 80%, probably I receive back 20% and some little extra more. Okay, so anyways, yeah, K35 I am only the keep, nothing else. I hope 2 more weeks I can start cranking out tier 14. But let's get to the topic. Today we'll be talking about generals that you can use to run bosses. Let's click on the tavern, recruit, portraits. Let's start with Europe. Now there's only 2 generals that I see in Europe that could actually run boss pretty well. First off is Barbarossa. His basic stat is not so great, but let's take a look at his special skill. His special skill, Bloody Leader. Okay, so increase the march size by 10% and mount troops attack by 15%. That's good. You have expanded your march size a little bit to fit in your mount troops to do some rally on bosses. That's really great. Let's take a look at his specialty. It's mostly mount, some ground attack to it, and we don't need that. Of course, mount troops. So if you don't have any other generals and you have Barbarossa, use him. Okay, like I said, mount troops is the best unit to attack boss because of the high damages that it costs to boss. Also, another thing is that it fits with mount troop HP. Okay, any HP deals with boss. Okay, let's go to the next one. The golden boy. Okay, Roland. What can I say about this guy? He is good. So let's take a look at his basic stats. Leadership 105, attack 118, that's really high. Defense 117. His special skill, increase mount troops attack by 30% and increase mount troops defense and HP by 15% when general is leading the army. I would consider, okay, like I said, okay, my playstyle is different than your playstyle. Your playstyle might be different from other people's playstyle, okay? But I hear a lot of people say that Roland is not an end game general. I don't know yet, you know. I haven't got that far with Roland, but I've been using Roland to run boss, and he's great. Okay, let's take a look at his specialty. Troops, some ground attack, troops, mount troops, and yeah. So for Europe, Roland is the best. If you don't have Roland, then go with Barbarossa. Let's go to America. America, we have Washington. Okay, his basic stats, it's okay, not so great. But let's go to his special skill. Increase mount troop attack by 35% when general is leading the army. 35%, that's all you be getting. You cannot stack any more than that. Okay, the reason why he only have one stats, which is 35% of mount troop attack. Now let's say if he has 10% of ground troop defense, 35% of mount troops attack, then that's a different story. You can stack 25% of mount troop attack on top of the 35%. But in this case, he only have 35% mount troop attack, so you cannot stack any mount troop attack on top of the 35. You can stack defense, you can stack HP, you can stack march speed, march size, but you cannot stack mount troop attack. Let's take a look at his specialty. Mount troops. Ground and mount troops. Mount troops. And of course, if you max all that out, will be allows you to heal. And also mount troops and defense. If you don't have Barbarossa, if you don't have Roland, you can use Washington. He's not the greatest general for boss, because you can't really do anything with his 35%. He's a beginner general if you really need him to run boss. But if you know, later in the game, if you can find any other general that is better, of course you will replace Washington. Let's go down. Grant is really good. He's one of the best general. A lot of people use Grant for PvP. Let's take a look at his stats. Attack 120, defense 115, leadership 114. That's really high. His stat, it has that equal balance in it. You can use Grant for PvP, and also you can use him to rally bosses. He's not so great at bosses than PvP. Okay, he's not great as Martinez or Roland, but he is a decent boss general himself. Let's take a look at his special skill. Increase siege machines and mount troops attack by 15% when general is leading the army, and by extra 15% when general brings a dragon from the pasture. Now, as you can see, he got 2 stats, so you can stack another 25% mount troop attack on top of his 15, and of course there's an extra 15%. Now it says increase siege machine. Just forget about that, okay? As long as he has a mount troops attack percentage, then you're good for that general to run bosses. Let's take a look at his specialty. It's more siege, more size, ground, mount, siege, and siege and more and mount troop attack. So this, as you can see, majority of his specialty is focused on siege. Okay, so you don't want to bring siege to do a boss rally because it doesn't work. Okay, and you're gonna get all your siege destroyed. Grant is awesome at PvP, but as for boss general, he's okay. Okay, he's not the best, he's okay. I'm sorry for all you fans out there that are Grant fans, okay, but I gotta admit, Grant is good for PvP. He's not so great for boss. He's okay. Okay, let's go to Japan. Japan has a lot of great general like Minamoto, Sonoki, but there's only one general that you can use to run boss is Takeda. Okay, let's take a look at his basic stats. 114 attack, okay, a little bit high. His special skill, increase ground troops attack by 20, increase mount troop attack by 20. So just forget about the ground troop attack and focus on mount troops attack 20%. Let's take a look at his specialty. Mount troops, a little bit ground mount mixture, all troops. Okay, this is another general that is okay, but surely if you don't have any other generals and you only have him, use him. Okay, he's good at what he does by running boss if you don't have any generals to refill or replace him. But if later on in the game you happen to have a better general, then of course you want to replace Takeda with that general. Let's go to the next one. Korea. I'm sorry to say, but Korea does not have any general that have mount stats. All these generals you can use to run boss. Okay, no problem. But you're going to get a hefty wound. Okay, let's go to China. Li Jing. Li Jing is kind of like Washington. Okay, he only have one stat, which is 35% of the mount troop attack, and you cannot stack extra attack power. That's what suck about it. Okay, but for his basic stat, 117 is pretty good for attack. Li Jing is mostly focused on mount troops. Okay, so it makes him pretty good. Basically, he has no ground, just mount. Let's see Washington. Let's go back to Washington. Okay, let's go to Washington. Mount, ground. There you go. So ground troop, a little bit ground troop. So Li Jing has a little upper edge when it comes to mount troops. Washington have that little mix of ground troop in it, but if you don't have Washington, if you don't have any other general that could run bosses that has mount troop attack, you can definitely use Li Jing. Okay, although you cannot stack anything else, but you can use him. Let's go to a new general, Yu Fei. I hope I pronounced that right. His stat is pretty good. Okay, leadership 118. Leadership can give you HP. Okay, attack 113, defense 115. His special skill is increased ground troops. You can cancel that out. And mount troop attack 25%, and increase ground troops and mount troops HP by 10%. Now this is a good stat. Mount troop 25%, HP mount troop 10%. You can stack another 25% of mount troops attack and another 25% of mount troop HP on top of the 10. Okay, let's take a look at the specialty. Mount troops, ground troop and mount troop, all troops, and of course, so this guy is good for boss because he has that two stats, the mount troop attack and the mount troop HP, but he also is having mixed focus with ground troop in it too. But as a boss rallying, he's not bad. Okay, you could use him. Now we have Xiang Yu. He is a legendary, and his legendary stats 35%. It's just like the epic. Okay, but he only has 3 specialty. Okay, so it's not worth it. His stats, it's like the epic general Li Jing, but Li Jing has more specialty, a 4th one. He only has a 3rd one, so I would consider save your gold. Don't spend it until you have that daily coin or daily token for Li Jing, and you can gather up all 30 of them. You can activate it and use Li Jing instead. You know, before you could get Li Jing buying packs, but now they have that token. Collect them all and you can get it. It's not hard. Okay, log in every single day for the next 30 days and get your new general. Use that, boot this guy out, things like that, you know. Okay, let's go to Russia. Ole. You can use Ole. He's not so great. He's actually he's very weak because he is a stable officer. He's not equipped to run boss rally, but with the 5% of mount troop attack, you can try to, but you know, I wish you luck because you will receive some wound. Let's go to Arabia. Now we have barbells or bell bars. A lot of people use this general to run bosses. Okay, let's take a look at his specialty. Mount troops, enemy, mount troops. Okay, the reason why people use this guy to run boss is the double drops, the 25% of double drops from bosses. Okay, if you have, let's say, 3 or 4 of these generals, you can send them to boss rally, things like that, or equip it with the skill book of mount troops attack and mount troop HP and increased mount size, or another 25% of a double drop and things like that, and you have an all equipped bear bar to run bosses. Okay, the good thing is the high chance to get double drop is pretty high for this general. Another general is Khalid. Basic stats okay, decent. His special skill, increase the siege machines attack by 20%. We can cancel that out. And mount troops attack by 20%. He has a 20% of mount troops. Let's take a look at the specialty as siege, range troops, siege amount attack. So he only have 25% of mount troops attack, but the rest of his stats for a specialty is focused on range and siege. Okay, making him an okay general to run boss if you don't have any other generals that are more focused on mount troops to run boss. Okay, this general could be used for PvP, but certainly as an end game for boss runner, I wouldn't recommend it. Okay, and that is it. Let's go to others. Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great is exactly like Washington and Li Jing and Yang Yu. Okay, 35%, but he doesn't have the mount troop attack. He has the increased march speed by 35%. This you can skill him a 25% attack. Okay, 25% HP, but you cannot skill 25% march speeds because it matches what he already has. Let's take a look at his specialty. Ground troop, ground troop, ground troop, mount troop. So for beginner, if you receive Alexander the Great, and you should be receiving Alexander the Great ever since level 1 of your castle, if you spend 5,000 gems, I mean, if you purchase 5,000 gems, you get Alexander the Great for free. So use him temporary until you find another general that is better than him, and then you could either sell him or put him on duties or general's duties. Okay. Genghis Khan, mount troop, mount size, ground. Genghis Khan only have the march size increase of 15%. You could put a skill book of 25% attack, HP, march speeds, or double drop, or whatever you want. But that's it for him. He doesn't have any other special skill that's relating to cavalry that you could use for boss running. Prince Charles, I see some people use him for boss running, but he's okay. Martinez, one of the end game general. Okay, Martinez, very high basic stats. Okay, 120. Special skill, that's attack of the mounted troops that are led by the general increased by 25%, and if the general brings the dragon from the passer, the mounted troops attack will additionally increase 15%. So you're talking about 40%. A 40% increase if you have a dragon. His special skill beats Roland. Roland's only 30%. So let's take a look at his specialty. Mount troop attack HP. March troop. Marching mount troops. Mount troop. Mount troop. This guy. Okay, let me tell you. If I compare Roland with Martinez, Roland is set as a beginner. Okay. While Martinez is a late game. Okay. So if you don't have Martinez, you have Roland. From your start to the mid, Roland's always the best running bosses because of his high beginning stats. But from the middle to the end, Martinez is the one that's getting buffed up. Okay, overpower Roland. But you can still use Roland. Okay, Roland, Martinez, they're pretty good. They're really good actually. General for running boss. If you use mount troop attack. Another good general is Electra. Her basic stat is good. Okay, it levels out. Increase mount troops and range troops attack by 15% when general is leading the army. Increase range troop attack by 20% when general brings dragon from the pasture. Let's forget about the range troop and focus on the mount troop. Mount troop is 15%. That's okay. Specialty. Range troop. March. Range troop. Range troop. So this general has a 15% stat for mount troop attack, but is more focused on range troop. Okay. She's okay if you don't have other generals and you have her and you want to use her to run boss. She's okay. Hannibal. If you want to know more about Hannibal, I uploaded a video, general's highlight on Hannibal. Okay, so check it out. Check that video out. If you have not liked it, give it a like. So Hannibal, I would say Hannibal is an end game general. His stats is there. Okay, increase ground troop and mount troop attack by 15% and increase mount troop attack by another 20%. So you have 35% mount troop. Forget about ground troops for now. We're focusing on mount troops. Let's take a look at specialty. Mount troop, ground troop, and mount troop. Mount troop, marching mount troop, marching mount troop. Hannibal, I'm telling you, if you don't have Hannibal, Hannibal is the basic generals. Every time when you buy packs, $100 packs, I'm telling you, you land a Hannibal like 60% of the time. Okay. I've had over the past few months that I coined, I've had at least 6 Hannibal, 5 Li Jing, 4 Napoleon. You know, I just sold them all and just kept 1 or 2 of them, and I kept 1 Hannibal, actually 2 Hannibal. Okay, so that is it. As for generals that could run bosses, every category has a general except for Korea. I'm sorry, Korea, but you don't have it. So you can basically run bosses with any generals, guys. You know, just make sure if that generals does not have a skill book or does not have a skill for mount troop attack, you can skill it for 25% of mount troops attack and take that general to run some bosses. You know, you can do it with any generals, but there are specific generals that are designed to have mount troops attack boost, you know, for efficiency to run boss rally. And those are the generals I just listed right now. Okay, so that is it, guys. Those are top generals to use for running boss. And that's it for this video for this week. or weekend. I will see you soon on the next video. I promise I will make time. Okay, so happy gaming. Remember to like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell. Okay, just like right now for this video, you will be getting a notification that I uploaded this video pretty soon. So once again, I appreciate and I thank you for subscribing, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.